In today's video we are going to be working on this fantastic A-frame. Now what I plan to do is sheet it out with some OSB board on the reverse side so that we will see all these beautiful upright studs. Now they've all got to be cleaned up, wire brushed and treated, but before I can do that I have to frame out the back with the OSB, and then what we'll be left with is a recess here, and that will allow me to fix in some plasterboard. That way I can plaster over it. Believe it or not, that is level. It's a bit of an optical illusion going on here, but the bubble doesn't normally lie. This will be the plasterboard infill, so this side I can overcome any small irregularities with this. We'll just simply screw it through. I may get an insulated plasterboard, it depends on the depth really that I'm happy with. Maybe just screw that straight on and I'll deal with the insulation on the barn side of the wall. Just got a bit of a gap there, and there's a little bit of a gap on the underside there. I'm not too worried about that. Just simply use this to scribe it in. So next, just a few tacks in. It's just come off from there. Maybe if I mark it this side. Now this wall, before me and Steve stripped it all off, was absolutely packed with clay, and it weighed an absolute ton. When it come down, I think it was breathing a sigh of relief. So yeah, we've released quite a bit of weight off of here, which is important, but putting this OSB board back in starts to give it quite a lot of integral strength as well. So yeah, it's quite an important job really, as well as aesthetics. Yeah, I won't be attempting any more of those long difficult words because it's quite cold in here. Be no good me attempting this after lunch. Now normally over there is a little sort of bed for one of the cats. Not my cats, they're neighbouring cats. One normally sits there and one has its little place over there. And yeah, I think they've caught quite a few mice lately because there was some evidence of mice in my cottage here. And then when I got some traps, but nothing in the traps for weeks now, so I think those cats have cleared the mice, you know, no problem now. Now that back wall there, the other side of that is my cottage that I'm living in at the moment. Now every time I look at that wall I can't make out what it's been before. There's been a fireplace there, definitely, because you can see the timbers in the wall that would have supported the top of the chimney, but it doesn't really make sense as this building, this barn. They certainly wouldn't have had a fire up here if it was a barn, so maybe I think this was a house, and then as the farm progressed maybe the house fell down, or the cottage, and they built this barn with the materials left. Base of this barn A-frame last year was in a terrible state, so I came in here and we put some additional timbers either side, put some metal rod through and really did save this A-frame. Yep, it's not the best thing to look at the moment, but with the time and the means that I had at that particular point in time, it saved it. So this is probably something that we'll come back to later on once it comes to actually renovating this fantastic building. As far as the secret door goes this side, I'm still considering that. Not quite sure what side I'm going to put it. It depends where the stairs come up in the cottage, so yeah, I can always cut the door in afterwards. Cut another section. Thing never seemed to fit first time. Well, this one's pretty close. Now it does make me wonder on how old this A-framed building is. Now I think it's had a previous life, these timbers, because when you look at it, it's either been altered in situ or it's come from another property, which, you know, back in the day, sort of 200 years ago, if one fell down, wouldn't necessarily rebuild it there, they'd take all the parts and use them in other buildings. And throughout all of my buildings, I've got probably nearly 40 metres in length of buildings. Each one looks like it's been repurposed from somewhere else, so some of these timbers could be a lot older than I initially thought. I mean, when you look at this, there's a sort of pocket just here. Look, let me show you. Just there. Now in the design of this, there isn't any cross beams coming across or anything like that, so, and just down here as well we've got another one tucked in there with the holes for the pegs. All lovely character, you know. I will be making the most of this. This will all be cleaned up and waxed. You've got some more pockets there. So yes, this may have been somewhere else, or they may have altered this wall. Not quite sure. Like I say, there's so many different alterations over the years. Some of them done better than others, admittedly. Hopefully mine can be on that list. Now I am constantly in a dilemma when I start using new materials in an old property like this. Yeah, it's very available and sometimes cheaper and quicker, and sometimes you have to use modern stuff. And when I put it up, I always think, what other alternatives is there or was there? I think there's enough of a feature with this without having to do that. Although it's still an option, I could attach oak to the front of this, or like I say, I could do plasterboard and then the traditional line render over the face of it. And thanks once again for watching. You know, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment. I'll try to reply. I do read every single comment, so yeah, do appreciate that. One other thing, I'd like to thank Diana. She's recently purchased 2 things out of my Etsy store, and that really does help this project. You know, I can't emphasise that enough. All my patrons buy me coffees. You do actually keep this project running. Without yours, I don't think I'd be at this stage with it, and I certainly wouldn't be continuing as a full-time job. So yeah, that's something to think about. You know, thank you all very much. Okay, before I get too cold down here gassing, let's get back to work. This side's going to be a little bit more time consuming because obviously once I put the bottom OSB board across there, I can't jump in and out through into next door. So what I'll probably have to do, I can't walk on that there, I'll have to get a board and access it from up there. hopefully these offcuts will fit. Yeah, get away with that. Then what I'll probably do is leave this section out, cut the piece in, ready, move it to one side so I can get in and out. Do all that down there, and then it just leaves one last section here, which I can go from the other side, pre-cut, drill it up. Otherwise, it's going to mean a lot of up and down different ladders, and that side ain't too safe. So, yep, that'll do. Now I may just have to put a batten behind this beam because it sits at a different level to the rest of them. Yep. Okay. So what I'll do now is I'll take this one off. I won't fix it. Put some screws down the side after I've took it off so I know where that finishes, and then I'll just continue with me boarding that way vertically. Well, that was a tricky little job to do. Quite a big job actually. So let's stand back and have a look. What do you think? What a transformation. I think so anyway. Really get a sense of its history and the size of it now. It's, you know, it's really coming together. And it's going to look fantastic once I get the plasterboard and the lime render in between. It looks like it's grew there. It even looks like it's got the makings of a secret door here, doesn't it? What a coincidence. Yeah, there's no tongue and groove in these boards on this section here, so yeah. Okay, that is it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye for now.